DMV. We are the queens of DMV, and we are ready to give you some real talk and real estate today. I have my girl Cher and my girl Arial on the call. And we are here today to talk about realtor attire.
What does that mean?
Yes, how's this second episode gonna go? It's funny because we always when we're talking offline, we have our little, we see different things on Instagram, on, showing a house, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on now? And I don't know. Is it because are we old school? I mean,
we're definitely old school. Ariel's the only baby here, the only under 40.
Look, I'm not far behind. So
you and I at the top, we're a little old school, and we like to have fun and party and do all of those things. But
and look cute.
Yeah, and look the bomb. Yeah,
right.
But really, and I mean, it's funny. What is your take on realtor attire? Who's going to go first?
I will say for me, I can only speak for myself. So for me, I'm probably going to be dressing a little bit different when I'm showing houses versus at settlement. At settlement, I am Sunday's best. Hello. I'm showing up with, my Louboutins or whatever. I'm going to most likely wear a suit or a dress or something cute. Showing houses, I need to be a little bit more comfortable. Chances are I'm driving around in my car all day. Several customers. Heels are a little tough when you're out and about all day long. Still professional, maybe some slacks or some jeans. I like to rock my logo shirt for my company. So there's different ways to show professionalism. And I think it just has a lot to do with what's on your agenda for today.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, for me, I am definitely on the old school side. I'm not thinking about comfort. I'm looking about appearance, whether I'm showing or if I'm doing an open house or attending a closing. I'm always in Sunday's best for the most part, because I do believe, like, when I wake up in the morning, whatever I put on for the day is going to fuel my confidence and my self-esteem and how I enter the world for that day. So if I look droopy, I'm going to feel droopy. If I look hot, I'm going to feel hot. I'm going to deliver that. So I'm definitely, in that regard, old school. But for me, I feel like there's a fine line, and since social media has started, maybe we notice that more than ever. I mean, maybe there's always been a fine line. Right. And I am from Miami, so like Miami real estate is a lot different. It's super sexy, like, cleavage, all that is totally okay. I think the DC market is a little different. We're definitely more conservative up here. So that's, something that you keep in mind. But when you look on social media, there's that fine line, or what are you selling? Are you selling real estate, or are you selling yourself?
Yourself. On the corner.
And is that professional?
Right.
Right.
So that leads us to my first question is, how is social media affecting, realtors and their attire, with showing homes? I think that, we're really pressing the envelope sometimes. I'm not saying it's all the time, but and Cher, you actually raised a better question that I have. That you said in Miami is different, and then here it's a little bit more conservative, but in Miami or Atlanta or Houston, I will say maybe they're hotter areas, and maybe it's normal to show, more, but I'm starting to see it actually. It's starting to get
a little too much.
Yeah, I really think so. I don't want it to. Our field being glamorized, by, you know, showing everything. I just feel that.
Yeah, I think like the biggest issue I have with it is this, and I'll keep it PC, but like the look back at it shots and on your real estate page, I'm just kind of like, but why do you have to look back at it when you're selling real estate? Like, are you selling the house or what you're looking back at?
Right.
And how is that helping? I mean, I suppose like if you have a lull in business and you want more followers to your page, like
what are they buying?
That kind of content. You may draw people, but then there's that fine line of, okay, is this person following me and DMing me and reaching out to me because of that photo I posted? Or do they really want to learn about the real estate process?
Right.
So, it's like, what kind of guidance can we give actually to new agents entering the industry about how to compose themselves, in terms of not only their dressing attire, but in terms of how they present themselves on social media, because that really goes hand in hand.
It does. I know when I was starting out in real estate, and this may seem a little corny, guys, don't give me a hard time. But when I was starting out in real estate, every time I had a closing, and this was like my first year, like 2006, 2007, every time I had a closing, I would set aside a little bit of money to get a suit or a tailored outfit or something professional, maybe a new pair of pumps, or, like you would do on an interview. Like so
building your wardrobe.
Right. So I could build my professional wardrobe. So I would set aside money to buy a suit for every closing that I did. I mean, now I don't do it because I have a whole lot of suits. But, just so you have, interchangeable pieces that you can use for, different outfits. Like maybe I bought a blazer that would go with 3 different pairs of pants that I have. Just budgeting as a new agent so that I could grow my professional wardrobe. And before I knew it, I had a closet full of professional clothes that I could, interchange and make look different. And I know Arnita does a really good job with kind of accessorizing her outfits and also just matching and making it look different. Like you could buy a vest and make it look different with a scarf or depending on the pants that you're wearing. So, I kind of just budgeted my money when I got into the business because this business does take a little bit of capital to get into.
Because everybody don't have it. Right.
Yeah, everybody don't have it. So I understand you're trying to jazz up that nightclub bodycon and it's just not working. You might need to go on a blazer.
Not the bodycon though.
To the closing. We cannot do that. And there's ways that you can dress up a bodycon to, make it look professional. So yeah, I would just save a little bit of money and buy professional clothes with every closing. That was my gift to myself.
But okay, so professional closing to everyone may mean something completely different. Right. So describe professional clothing.
Okay, so we're talking about blazers.
Yeah, a
suit. And I mean, everybody might not like to wear suits. I get that. Maybe you're doing slacks and a sweater, slacks and a button up.
Yeah, and I have to I have to push the envelope a little bit, everyone. Is it different with us, with Black agents in regards to white agents? Because I've been to closings and they come to closing in where is my background? And they come to closing in, shorts, shirt, and we will come to closing dressed up. And, so I definitely want to hit that envelope. Is it a double standard, as in regards of race, how we come to closing and how, others come to closing? What do you think about that?
I never really thought about it like that, to be honest with you. I mean, I definitely feel like for me, I don't think about race and clothes, so to speak. But, I do think about being a person of color and always having to go a step further than, mainstream, because it's always been harder for us in every industry. Yes.
Definitely.
So, if I can't see myself coming to a closing in jeans and a t-shirt, because that's just not the way I want to carry myself as a person, but especially a person of color, since we've just had overall harder journey. I think, putting my best foot forward 24/7 is just not an option to do anything less than that for me.
Definitely. Yep. I will say when I was with Keller Williams, my broker, it was a rule that we had to come to the office dressed up every day, in suits or, the right shoes, and, I thought it was excellent. Of course, I don't want to go to work every day dressed up because, of course, we're in business for ourselves. But he said that because, how will others see you when you step out of this office? And I actually totally understand that. How you get up every day in a suit and tie. Cher, you said it. If I get up and I definitely feel good when when I'm looking cute, my makeup is done, although I hate getting my makeup done. It's just, you leave out of here, you leave out of the house feeling a certain different way. When I go to my closings, oh my God, I feel like $1 million.
Right.
$1 million. Yeah. So, that's something that, I think everyone needs to think about, how their attire is and how it's affecting, others how they're leaving out the house dressed. But I will say when I'm showing a house, because of COVID, I'm in tennis shoes now. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm in sweat.
Spill the tea.
Yes, I do. I love my tennis. I'm a tennis shoe lover now. I'm a tennis shoe fan. So when you're showing the houses, what is your attire? It used to be flats for me all the time, but now tennis shoes.
It's definitely flats. Let me just explain what my morning looks like. I have to wake up, walk my dog, come back in the house, make sure that my daughter is ready for virtual school, which she does a very awesome job with on her own. And then, I'm still in my gym clothes. I might have to run out and show houses. So I'm going to keep it real. You heard it here first. I might show up at a showing with yoga pants. I mean, it's the reality of life.
Like, no.
The showing, my daughter to basketball practice. I have time to dress up in a heel, for this showing and that showing. Now, some days aren't as busy as others, but you might catch me in a pair of yoga pants, just because of what the day entails and the market, the way it is now. I'm running over there as soon as the property is listed.
Yeah,
so I don't have time to get glammed up for that. Would you rather me be glammed up at the showing, or you being able to see the house on time and getting your offer in?
I need to
take some time to glam up, okay?
You want an honest answer to that question? I want it all.
Right.
I want you glammed up. I want you on time. I want you doing your job. I want it all.
On time, okay. On time, okay.
On time. Look, you can't get all three. You cannot get all three.
Okay, Cher, how are you going to your showings?
So I'm not saying that I'm dressed to the nines 24/7. I mean, I may be casual, but I'm definitely not wearing sneakers. I definitely have some type of makeup on. I mean, I have at least mascara and lip gloss on at minimum. And I'm looking like, if I happen to walk into somebody that I don't know, they're my potential client. And I don't think of it as just a regular day, any day. Like, I always remember my grandfather, I used to ask him, like, hi, Grandpa, you dress up 24/7. And he's like, you got to look your best to feel your best. And you never know who you're going to run into. Because the one time I feel like I went out and I was not looking my best, I met $1 million client and I was so embarrassed. I was like, of course this would be the day that I'm in jeans and flats and not looking my best. I mean, not that it deterred them from working with me, but it didn't give me the confidence in that moment to move forward. And I feel like I rather put myself in a situation where I'm always feeling confident than having to second guess that.
Definitely.
Respect, Cher. This is why I look up to you. Respect, because you just dropped a huge gem.
I know.
Right there. I mean, for real. And from somebody who kind of has a similar life as me, I mean, you have 2 kids as well. I really need to step up my game for real. I can't be doing the yoga pants. I can't do the yoga pants like I normally do.
No more yoga pants.
You know,
starting tomorrow, okay?
Your thoughts. If you're being your authentic self in terms of what you're wearing, are you more likely to attract a like-minded client?
I think so. I mean, absolutely. I feel like, you know, I've had this conversation with different members of my team over the years, and everyone has a different philosophy because they may have a booming business, but they may just wear jeans and a t-shirt every day. And they're like, look, this has never stopped me from getting business. Like, it's not about what I'm wearing. It's about the service I'm delivering and who I am as a person, my professionalism overall. And I agree, but I do think when someone sees you and you're presenting your best version of yourself, no one can ignore that. Like, you cannot walk into a room feeling confident, looking confident, versus someone next to you where very dressed down in a professional environment. Who's going to win? I mean, when you really think about it, when you break it down that way, who wins? I mean, for me as a professional, I'm going to pick the person looking most like me.
Right.
I feel like they're serious about their job. They're serious about their journey. They didn't just roll out of bed trying to show me a house.
Right.
But that's my opinion.
And I get that. I will say though, to be honest, I wanna be myself, you know, and you know, I totally understand what you're saying, Cher, and I totally agree with it. I just, but I kind of disagree with it.
There's nothing wrong with that. We're not always going to agree on this show, and that's
absolutely not.
And I'll not disagree with it because I don't think it's right. I disagree with it only because it's just maybe a preference. You know, I just want to be. I want to be comfortable. I want to be myself. You know, I think my client. I am who I am. You know, I like coming. Now I kind of like coming. They don't see a problem with the sweatshirts and the jeans, and maybe I'll take some consideration in it. and I will say this changed for me when COVID hit.
Yeah,
I was not like this in the beginning before COVID. I would always make sure I had on some flats. I'm not wearing heels to a showing. I never have. But when COVID hit, and it hasn't stopped my business, so I'm like, okay, well, this works for me. But I totally understand what you're saying, Cher. I really do.
Well, let me pose a question to you. So let's set up the scene. So you are on a showing with jeans and your sneakers and a sweatshirt, and you have a friend that calls you, and your friend may be on the bougier side, okay? And they say, Ariel, Arnita, it's either of you, but they're calling saying, I'm sitting here with a colleague. They're only in town for the next 30 minutes. You guys are in Charles County. They're in DC, in Southeast somewhere, maybe on the waterfront. You only have 30 minutes to get there. They need to talk to you immediately about buying a $5 million property. You have no time to go home. You feel comfortable and confident showing up the way that you are?
Well, first of all, I'm not getting to the waterfront in 30 minutes from Baltimore. So that's
okay, well, you know what I mean.
Okay. Let's be realistic when you're setting the scene. We're not getting
45 minutes.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna. I'm still gonna be myself with that price point. I mean, I don't think price point drives how I'm gonna dress either.
Oh, actually, that happened to me last week, y'all. Someone called me, said she wanted to list her house, and I said, and she said she needed to list it, quickly. Could I meet her today? And I said, okay, stop. I didn't tell her to stop, but I said, I am not dressed correctly today. Is it okay that I should come? So Cher, to your point, I totally understand, because why would I say I'm not dressed correctly?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, okay, I definitely get it. But that did happen to me last week, and I wasn't dressed right, and that's okay. So this is another question. Listing appointments. I'm going to dress up for my listing appointments.
Right.
Yeah. It's an interview. Yeah.
An interview.
So basically,
you're not going to dress up for your hire.
You're going to wear jeans and sneakers.
This is deep. You guys are proving my point here. Okay, so when you guys are on Zoom, when you're doing your Zoom meetings, if you're showing your face on your buyer consults, how are you guys dressed for that?
I have a nice top on, or I have the green logo, on. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, I'm because I can wear, sweats at the bottom. I'm fine with putting on a nice shirt I do that. So
business top, party bottom for Zoom.
Yeah,
all day long.
Except it sucks when the dog starts barking or the kids are loud and you have to get up, and then they see your sweatpants when you have to pause for a second.
No, I'm very strategic. I pause it and then I get up.
So okay.
So what would you all give any advice to new agents that are, coming into the field of how to dress? Well, we know now, Cher. We know what Cher.
Well, no. I mean, for me, I'm not saying, I think, I agree with you guys in the sense of being true to your authentic self. So if you're the type of person that doesn't wear a suit every day, and I don't wear a suit every day because I find putting pieces of clothing together stress me out. So I'm like a one dress type of gal, just one piece over the head. It keeps it simple for me. But I do think as a new agent, especially just starting out in the business, I think keeping it as professional as you can, 24/7 especially, it's much easier for us being established 15, 16, 17 years in the business each. If a client sees us off for a day, it's not the end of the world because our resume speaks for what we've done. Our bios speak for what we've done. But if you're 1 year into it looking like you're a hot mess off the street, why am I going to want to work with you? I want to see somebody who is not only physically put together and representing themselves in their best light, they're articulate, they're market knowledgeable. So I think the combination of the three together is super important and impactful. So my guidance to someone new in the business would be always put your best foot forward. And, we can teeter the line of sex appeal in this industry and, take it from somebody that, I'll just keep it real. I like a sexy outfit, but it has to be professional sexy. You can't show all your boobs. It has to be a classy showing of the boobs. Sexy. If you're going to wear tight clothes, have the body to wear tight clothes. Don't let things be spilling out of places they're not supposed to be spilling out of. There's a class and their tact to it all. So I say keeping it as professional as possible is always the way, and putting your best foot forward is always the way.
I love professional sexy. I like that.
Yes.
So what do you think about professional photos when they're taking these professional photos?
In terms of what you should be wearing?
Yes. Your real estate photos.
Ariel, I'll let you take this one.
So, I think that this is a class that can be taught. And to be honest, some people don't know they see a lot of dresses and styles that other people are wearing and they try to do it, but maybe it doesn't fit with the body that they have. And I'm not saying that a body is better than other, but you have to dress according to what looks good on you. And I think some people don't dress according to what looks good on them, or some people do know what's good on them and what accentuates their style or brings out their style while being professional. So I think, maybe a little bit of realtor etiquette photo taking class needs to be given. I did take a class similar to that when I was in college, as I was in the School of Business at my university, and we actually took a class on professional dressing. Do you wear a 4-inch heel? Do you wear maybe a 2.5 or 3-inch heel versus, something really high? I think also that, is preference, like Arnita said, but when it comes to photos, there's a lot of things that come into play. Your background, the location that you choose for your photos. And basically, would you want your parents or elders to see you wearing that outfit? So, I mean, sometimes people choose their realtor based on a headshot or a photo. So you have to put a lot of thought into it. And I think, how you wear your hair also matters, what style that is. I mean, maybe you might not want to do a mohawk for a realtor photo, but maybe that's what your hair is like now. It's a fine line of attracting clients and then also not changing yourself.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And so I think clothes matter, but also your hair, makeup, and a lot of other things matter as well.
Hygiene. I mean, you can look really cute and then you might not smell nice. I mean, there's like combination of things. It's like we want the whole package when we're delivering professionalism. It's not just about just what you're wearing, but it's about the overall.
Clients are judging us, believe it or not. And there's a lot of different things that they're looking at on the outside that might not matter because we're given excellent service. Right. So at the end of the day, I think that we all have to understand that we're being scrutinized and judged on the outside before we even sit down with that customer or client.
Mm-hmm. I will say this. I feel like there is a client for every agent out there, though, no matter how they're dressed. It's just, is it the right thing to do? Put it that way.
I'm going to just say this one thing and maybe we can wrap up soon. I just thought about it with hair. Sometimes I like to wear braids. And, sometimes I do feel a little strange about wearing my braids or, my locks or whatever, because, it is a bit ethnic. I get a lot of compliments on it, but is it business attire? And with wearing braids or locks or cornrows or whatever, I think it's becoming more acceptable. But back when I was, interviewing and going through school, like that was a big no-no. And I think now there is some type of law passed where people can't judge you based on your hairstyle. But, I do feel less, this is just me. I'm not saying this is everybody else. I personally feel less professional with braids or cornrows. And so I save that style for vacation, or maybe I'm going to the tropicals or whatever. But I wear my hair a certain way to do business.
I think with the braids or like an afro or something like that, I think y'all look gorgeous. Now I kind of want braids though, but I don't have no hair. But I say with the braids, it looks really good. Even showing a house, I will say, I think the total opposite about that, actually, a little Ariel. I think you look absolutely beautiful with your braids when you're showing a house. So I would love for you to reconsider that, because you look absolutely beautiful with your braids, even if you're meeting a new client or showing a house to me.
Thank you, Arnita. I appreciate that. I mean, us being women of color, those are things that cross our minds. Like, I'm not even going to fake like we aren't, worried about that. You know?
Right.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I always wear my hair straight to feel more professional. I mean, wrongly or rightly, I have naturally curly hair, but I feel like curly hair is like fun hair, like,
Really?
and even though everyone says like, oh, you still look professional when your hair is curly, I don't feel professional when my hair is curly. So I always straighten it to, in a business setting.
Okay.
Right.
And maybe I need to get over that myself because of, like just all that we've been through, through the struggle, but it shouldn't hold us back from where we are today. Because I do think we're more in a more progressive place.
Right. I agree. I totally agree.
Okay, ladies. This was awesome. And, so I just want to say this wraps up our second episode of Queens of the DMV with Cher and Ariel. And this was really good. Look out for for this to be aired on Thursday, January the 21st. And we look forward to a lot to your feedback.
All right. Signing off.
See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.